Level 1, the amateur. You're 8 years old. The gym door sticks. Your father shoves it open with his shoulder. Inside, a single heavy bag, cracked at the seams. A coach doesn't ask your name. He tapes your hands first. Hand wraps run 180 inches per roll. He shows you the figure 8 around your knuckles once. You get wrong for a month. You skip rope until your calves burn. You shadow box in front of a cracked mirror. 6 weeks in, the coach straps on headgear. He puts you in a ring with a boy 2 years older. A right hand catches you clean. Your nose bleeds onto the canvas. Your coach doubles as referee. He calls the round early. You are 12 now. New gym. Same cracked mirror in your memory. Amateur bouts run 3 rounds. Judges score clean punches landed, not damage done. You lose your first sanctioned fight on points. For round short a trophy. You cry in the car. Your father says nothing the whole ride home. You run before school to build your wind. You skip rope after school to build your legs. You spar every Saturday to learn range. You run the stadium stairs on Sundays to build a chin that can take a punch. You are 14. You win your first regional tournament. You are 15. You take the state title on a split decision. Your hands sweat inside the gloves before every fight. That never stops. Your training partner tears a retina sparring 3 weeks before nationals. He never boxes again. You take his spot in the lineup. Your family skips the gas bill twice that year. Gym dues come first. Tournament entry fees come first. You don't learn this until you're older. You are 17. A man in a golf shirt watches your national semifinal from the 3rd row. He doesn't clap. He waits by the locker room door. He hands you a card. Professional promoter. Your amateur record reads 61 wins, 9 losses. He says it's good enough to build a career on. He asks if you're ready to get paid to bleed. Level 2, the prospect. You're 18 years old. You sign your first professional contract. The promoter takes 33%. Your manager takes 15%. Your trainer takes 10%. You do the math in the parking lot. It doesn't add up to much. Your pro debut is scheduled for 4 rounds. Your opponent has a record of 6 wins, 11 losses. He's a trial horse. He gets paid to lose. He knows it. You knock him down in round 2. You win a unanimous decision. Your purse is $800 before the cuts. You weigh in 24 hours before every fight now. You strip to your shorts on a scale. Officials and reporters watch. They don't know your name yet. You make weight every time. You win your next 4 fights against opponents picked to lose. Your record climbs to 5-0. You run 6 miles before sunrise. You spar 8 rounds a day, 3 days a week. You hit the heavy bag until your knuckles crack the tape. You watch your own fight films until you memorize your own mistakes. Your 6th fight is different. Your opponent doesn't fold in round 2. He drops you in round 4. You get up at the count of 6. You win a split decision anyway. A cut opens over your left eye in round 7 of your 8th fight. Your cut man presses an adrenaline-soaked swab against it between rounds. You finish the fight, 9 stitches after. Your promoter offers you a new deal. Exclusive options on your next 6 fights. No say in opponents. You sign it anyway. It's the only way to get ranked fights. Your record hits 9-0. Word starts moving through the rankings. A gatekeeper, a durable veteran nobody wants to fight, is next. Level 3, the gatekeeper. You're 20 years old. Your record reads 9 wins, 0 losses. Matchmakers stop feeding you the weak. They start using you to test somebody else's prospect. That's what a gatekeeper is. Not a threat to be champion. A measuring stick for men who might be. Your 10th opponent is 19 years old, 8-0, hungry the way you used to be. He wants your record on his resume. You spar 12 rounds a day now, not 6. You spar live partners now, not journeymen holding back. You take real punches now, not practice touches. Your ribs bruise purple by the 2nd week. You cut weight for the first time in your career. 2 pounds over the limit, 3 days out. You skip water. You sit in a sauna suit running on a treadmill at midnight. You make weight at the scale by 4 ounces. The fight goes 10 rounds. Your opponent's jab finds your right eye in round 3. It swells shut by round 6. You can't see punches from your blind side anymore. A hook drops you in round 8. You beat the count. You lose the decision unanimously. The purse is the biggest of your career. Il est 22 dollars. Losing pays more than every win before combined. Your record reads 9 wins, 1 loss. Your first professional defeat. Your ranking, what little you had, disappears. Your manager stops returning calls as fast. Your trainer suggests moving up a weight class, starting over with a new style. You switch gyms. New coach, new sparring partners, new system. He watches film of your loss for 6 hours straight. He rebuilds your jab from the ground up. He tells you the eye injury heals in 6 weeks. He tells you the ranking takes longer. Level 4, the regional champion. You are 22 years old. Your new jab wins you 4 fights in a row, all by decision. Your coach books you for a regional title. 12 rounds against a champion 3 years older, 31-2. Round 4, a right hand wobbles your legs. The referee checks your eyes between rounds. You survive it. You drop your opponent in round 9 with a check hook nobody taught you until 6 months ago. He beats the count. He doesn't beat the scorecards. You win the regional title. Full gold. Heavier than it looks. Your purse for that fight is $40,000. More money than your father made in 2 years driving a delivery truck. You buy him a truck. You don't buy yourself anything yet. A boxing magazine puts your face on its cover for the first time. A reporter spells your hometown wrong. Your team grows. A full-time cut man. A nutritionist who takes away the fast food. A strength coach who adds 3 pounds of muscle to your frame without slowing your hands. The regional title puts you in a top 15 ranking for the first time. One of 4 separate lists, kept by 4 separate organizations. You don't understand the politics yet. You just know your name is on a list that matters. A fighter you sparred with for 2 years takes a brain bleed in a fight 3 states away. He taught you how to slip a jab. He survives. He never fights again. You send money. You don't call. His career ended. Yours got to start. Your promoter signs with a bigger promotional company. More cameras. Bigger purses. A path toward a final eliminator, 1 fight from a mandatory position. Level 5, the contender. You are 24 years old. For sanctioning bodies, keep 4 separate rankings now. The WBC, the WBA, the IBF, the WBO. Climbing one ladder does nothing for your spot on the other 3. The WBC hands out a silver title, then a diamond title. Both mean less than the real one. Both move you up their list anyway. You win the silver strap in your first fight of the year. 6 months of inactivity risks a strip from the WBC rankings. The IBF enforces mandatory defenses on a strict clock. You fight 3 times that year to stay visible. Your promoter offers you an easy payday. A faded contender, past his prime, a guaranteed win worth $90,000. Taking it burns your mandatory window with a different sanctioning body. You turn it down. You take a title eliminator instead for half the money against a live opponent ranked 2 spots below you. You study his last 9 fights on tape. You study his footwork on the ropes. You study the way he drops his right hand after every jab. By fight night, you know him better than his own corner does. The fight is close. Round 5, his elbow catches your cheekbone. It cracks under the skin. You feel it before you feel the pain. You finish the fight on instinct, guard high, chin tucked. You win a majority decision. The orbital fracture needs surgery. A titanium plate goes in below your eye. You miss 4 months of training. Your ranking holds anyway. The eliminator win locks it in. A letter arrives from the sanctioning body. You are now the mandatory challenger. The champion has 90 days to fight you or vacate the belt. Level 6, the mandatory challenger. You're 26 years old. The champion doesn't rush to sign. 90 days pass. He fights a voluntary defense instead, against a smaller name, for a bigger paycheck. The sanctioning body lets it slide once. You wait. Your team books a full camp anyway. 8 weeks out, altitude camp, 6,000 feet up to build red blood cells before the real work starts. You run 5 miles each morning, air too thin to fill your lungs. You spar 12 rounds each afternoon against partners built to mimic the champion. You study his last 3 title defenses each night, frame by frame. The fight gets signed. 12 rounds, championship distance for the world title. You weigh in 24 hours out, same as always. The IBF adds a second check the morning of the fight. You can't weigh more than 10 pounds over yesterday's limit. You make both checks with room to spare. The press conference draws 40 cameras. You stand chest to chest with the champion for the stare-down photo. Neither of you blinks first. Neither of you says much. Fight night, the arena holds 19,000 people. The walk to the ring takes 4 minutes. Your legs feel heavier than they have in 18 years of boxing. The first 3 rounds are quiet. Both of you reading distance. Both of you protecting the center of the ring. Round 7, a check hook catches you behind the ear. Your legs fold. The mat meets your back before you register the punch landing. You hear the count at 4 through a ringing that drowns out the crowd. You beat it at 8. You survive the round on legs that don't fully answer you yet. You finish the fight standing. Round 12 ends on your feet, his feet, both of you upright. The judges tally 96 sheets of paper into 3 scorecards. Nobody in the arena knows the winner yet. Not even you. Level 7, the world champion. You are 27 years old. The judges' scorecards read 116, 115, 114. All 3 favor you. The ring announcer says the word new before your name. New champion. New tight list. New face on 4 continents worth of broadcasts. The belt gets strapped around your waist in the ring. 10 pounds of leather and gold-plated metal, engraved with the name of every man who held it back to 1921. Championship distance is 12 rounds now. It used to be 15. Not since 1982. A lightweight died in Las Vegas that year. The sport rewrote its own rulebook by the next fight card. Your phone doesn't stop for 6 weeks. Interviews before sunrise. Photo shoots after dark. You miss your father's 60th birthday for a training session instead. You don't reschedule. Your number changes twice that year. Old friends call the new number anyway, asking for loans they never mention repaying. Your mandatory defense comes 4 months later. You win it in 8 rounds, a body shot folding your opponent against the ropes. The purse triples from your last fight. You still don't buy yourself anything. Your promoter won a different kind of fight next. A voluntary defense. A name with more followers than skill, a bigger streaming number, a smaller purse than your ranking deserves. You argue for a real contender instead. Your promoter reminds you who negotiates your next 4 contracts. You take the voluntary fight. You win it in 10 rounds, unanimous. Your opponent carries 30 pounds of muscle. He carries 0 pounds of experience past his depth. The crowd gets its show. Your ranking doesn't move an inch. 3 other belts sit with 3 other men in 3 other countries. Talk of unification starts the same week your hand gets raised. Level 8, the undisputed champion. You are 29 years old. For sanctioning bodies rarely align for one fighter. Each one runs its own calendar. Each one protects its own champion. Your promoter spends 14 months forcing all 4 into the same room. The unification fight sells 800,000 pay-per-view buys before the opening bell. You fight the WBA WBC IBF title holder for all 4 belts at once. 12 rounds. You drop him twice in the 3rd and the 9th. You win by unanimous decision, every card in double digits. You hold the WBC, the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO belts across one shoulder for the photo. The record books add a 5th title, lineal champion, the man who beat the man who beat the man, a line traced back through decades of champions before you. Your resting heart rate sits in the 40s. Your body fat sits under 6%. Your reflexes clock 100 milliseconds faster than they did at 22. Your team measures all 3 before every camp, the way other men check blood pressure. At a press conference, a reporter asks about your fight from 6 years ago, the eliminator that broke your cheekbone. You give the wrong name for the man who threw the punch. Your publicist laughs it off as jet lag. Your trainer doesn't mention the headaches that have followed every camp for the past year. A journalist ranks the top 10 contenders in your weight class. 4 of them turned pro after watching you win your first world title. One of them is 19 years old, 11-0, hungry in the exact way you used to be. Level 9, the faded champion. You're 37 years old. 19 years since your first amateur bout. 51 professional fights logged. Doctors call your risk profile textbook. You are past 28 now, the first marker. You are a decade past your first professional fight, the second. You have logged hundreds of sparring rounds nobody bothered to count, the third. You take a voluntary defense you should decline. Your opponent is 24, unbeaten, faster than anyone you've shared a ring with in 5 years. Round 2, his hand speed catches you clean twice. Round 6, a straight right puts you on the canvas for the first time in 11 years. You beat the count. You lose the decision on all 3 cards. The belt leaves your waist for the last time. You call a press conference. You announce your retirement standing at the same podium where you were once declared undisputed. Reporters ask if it's final. You say yes. You mean it for 11 months. A promoter calls with one more offer. $8 million guaranteed against an aging former champion the fans still remember. You tell your wife it's the last one. You've told her that twice before. Camp starts different this time. You spar 4 rounds. You need a full day to recover, not 4 hours. Combinations that used to flow now arrive 1 punch at a time. Your coach cuts sparring in half. He doesn't explain why. The night before the contract signing, your hand shakes holding the pen. Not from cold, not from nerves you'd recognize. Your manager slides the paperwork closer. He doesn't look up. Nobody in the room mentions it. Level 10, the old champion. You're 58 years old. You watch the unification fight on a television with a crack corner. 40 million people once watched it live. You know every punch before it lands. You mute the commentary. You don't need it. Your hand shakes, lifting a glass of water to your mouth. Some days it's your right hand. Some days it's your left. Some days it's both. You spill more than you used to. You stopped mentioning it to your daughter 2 years ago. You miss her son's 9th birthday party. You wrote the date down twice, in 2 different places. You forgot both anyway. She calls to ask why. You don't have an answer that makes sense out loud. A neurologist runs the same test 3 times in 1 visit. Memory, word recall, grip strength, balance on 1 foot with your eyes closed. She uses a term from 1928. A doctor coined it after watching the same symptoms in dozens of retired fighters. Punch drunk. She uses a second term from 1937, dementia pugilistica, the name that replaced it. She tells you the damage is permanent. It affects 1 in every 5 or 6 men who did what you did for a living. She tells you there is no version of this that reverses. You drive to the gym anyway. Not the first one, the one with the sticking door. That one closed years ago. A newer one, same cracked mirror bolted to a different wall. You stand in the doorway. A coach kneels in front of a boy who can't be older than 9. He runs a wrap around the boy's knuckles in a figure 8. The boy gets it wrong. The coach shows him again without a word of complaint. 180 inches of cloth, same as always. The boy's father waits by the door, watching the way your father once watched you. You don't say anything to either of them. You stand there long enough to watch the boy get the wrap right on the 3rd try. The cycle continues.